What is your never interrupt an enemy while they are making a mistake moment? I worked as a junior accountant at this marketing firm downtown. My boss Darren was one of those guys who thought he was way smarter than everyone else. One Tuesday morning, Darren dropped this thick stack of receipts on my desk. "Process these under client expenses," he said with that stupid smirk of his. I flipped through them real quick. $900 dinner at some steakhouse, luxury car rental for a weekend, even a spa bill for like $600. Which client meeting were these for? I asked. He leaned on my desk, acting all casual. "That's how business works, sweetheart. The company's got deep pockets. Might as well use them." I just nodded and said okay, but something felt really off about the whole thing. So when I processed his receipts, I made 2 spreadsheets, one for the official books and one personal backup on my flash drive, just in case. Over the next few months, Darren kept bringing me more stuff. Weekend trips to Vegas that he called team building exercises, expensive dinners that were supposedly client meetings but had no client names anywhere. He even rented this convertible once and told me to bill it as a transportation expense for site visits. Each time I'd ask questions. Each time he'd give me that condescending look and say something like, "Trust me, I know what I'm doing," or "This is how you get ahead in business." So I kept making my backup files. Screenshots of emails where he told me exactly how to categorize things, voice memos he'd send me laughing about how the company's dumb enough to cover my lifestyle. I even saved this one text where he bragged to someone about getting a free vacation because he was too smart for accounting. Then in November, corporate announced they were doing a full audit, external company and everything. Darren came into work that day looking nervous for the first time ever. When the auditors started asking questions about expense reports, Darren completely panicked. He started blaming everyone else, said there must have been accounting errors in the system, even had the nerve to point at me during one meeting and say maybe I'd been misclassifying things. The HR lady asked to speak with me privately. I could tell she was expecting me to either confess or throw Darren under the bus immediately, but I didn't say anything yet. I just sat there and let him keep digging his own grave. For 3 days, I watched Darren lie to auditors, blame other people, and act like he had no idea how thousands of dollars in personal expenses ended up on company books. He even tried to say someone must have stolen his corporate card and used it without his knowledge. Finally, HR called me in for what they said was going to be a disciplinary review. They thought I was the one who'd been helping him steal money. I walked in with my flash drive. "I have some things you might want to see," I said, plugging it into their computer. The HR director's face went completely white as I showed her everything. 6 months of emails, voice recordings, text screenshots, Darren literally instructing me how to hide his personal expenses, him laughing about ripping off the company, even a video he'd sent me of him at some resort in Miami that he'd claimed was a business conference. Within a week, Darren was fired. They said it was for fraud and theft. Security walked him out while the whole office watched. He tried to argue and make excuses right up until they escorted him to his car.